All right, guys, how many of us grew up being people pleasers? My hand is raised because I so terribly based all of my happiness on whether people liked me, on whether people agreed with me, if people wanted to hang out with me. And not only that, I just really did not trust my voice at all. I think I would base all of my decisions on whether other people would think that I was cool or if they agreed with my opinions or whatever it might be. And any decision that I made, I feel like I had to have a second, third, and fourth opinion. And you want to know where it got me? Miserable, absolutely nowhere. It was awful, and I do not recommend to anybody. Not only were people taking advantage of me because I would just say yes to literally anything or allow any type of behavior, but on top of that, it left me with a deep, I think, hole in myself. I just really didn't trust in the person that I was. In any of the decisions that I had to make, I felt like I needed to be babied or I needed to be guided on a certain path by other people who, mind you, were the same age as me, but I just really did not feel comfortable even making decisions that I knew would have my best interest at heart, just because I felt like everybody else had all the answers and I just didn't know what was going on. So if you are a recovering people pleaser, if you are struggling to make confident decisions without a second opinion, here are 4 easy steps to building self-trust and stop being a people pleaser. Now, hello, welcome. If you're new to my page, my name is Chelsea. I am the creator, producer, and host of a live entertainment talk show called CTRL+ALT+BEAT. And in order to build this show, which I'm currently doing, I absolutely had to get rid of all of my people-pleasing tendencies, because at the end of the day, this is an entity outside of me. And if I want this show to succeed, I cannot be somebody who is afraid to make any decisions. I cannot be somebody who doesn't trust myself. So here's everything that I've learned that has helped me to not only chase my goals, but also just be more confident in myself and stop relying on everyone else's opinions to make a good decision. Step 1. Ask yourself why you care so much about what other people think. And it sounds so simple. I feel like I'm going to go through these and people might be like, well, duh. But it's one thing to know that you should be doing something, and it's another thing to actually action it. I need you to pull out your journal. And if you don't have a journal, pull out your notes app. Pull out a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. Genuinely sit with yourself without any distractions around you and ask yourself why you genuinely care so much about what other people think. And using myself as an example, when I was growing up and I was a preteen and a teenager, I really cared about what other people thought because I didn't love myself. And that sounds so it sounds so serious and heartbreaking, but it's fine. We've moved on from that. But genuinely, I don't think I loved myself in a way that I should have, because people who love themselves know that they're okay if somebody doesn't like them. They know that they're going to be okay if they make a decision and maybe not everybody agrees with it. And that's not where I was at. And there's no wrong answers. There's no judgment for this part. In order for this to work, you're going to have to be seriously honest with yourself. I know for me, I just really wanted people to like me. I think at the core of it, I didn't love myself, but I also just really wanted people to like me because I felt like my value came from external forces and external people and whether people liked me or not. And because of that, I of course ended up people pleasing and doing everything that people would tell me to do and not making my own decisions, because having people in my life, good or bad, having people like me or want to hang around me was more important than me trusting myself. It was more important than me feeling like I knew who I was. And as I said, it didn't really get me anywhere. So just ask yourself why you really are so keen on getting people to like you and why you're not trusting yourself. And without judging yourself, just take notice of it and see how you can start to unlearn that. I know for me, I always was just taking everyone else's advice when it came to literally anything in my life. If I liked somebody, people would tell me how to speak to this person, or if I should even speak to this person, or whatever it might be, if I should be somebody's friend or if I shouldn't be their friend, whatever it might be. I did not trust myself. And you know why I didn't trust myself? It's because I wasn't making any of my own decisions. Which leads me into our second tip, our second step. Stop asking everyone and their mom for a second, third, and fourth opinion. And I'm talking about basic things here. I think it's so normalized in our everyday life because sometimes, you think you might want to wear a certain outfit or you might want to post a certain picture, but you're like, you know what, let me just ask my homegirl. Let me just ask my friend. And, I think it can be harmless every now and then, but if you are constantly relying on other opinions for every single decision you make, whether that's what you want to eat for lunch or for dinner, whether that's what color top you should be buying, whether it's a specific picture you should be posting, knowing damn well what you already want to do. Why do you think you don't trust yourself? You know what I mean? You have to get comfortable making your own decisions, because that is how self-trust is built. And take it from me, as I keep saying, I was somebody who was not confident in any decision I was making. I felt like everything that I did, I had to get a second opinion for the smallest things. I am telling you, like, if I was like, okay, I think I want vanilla ice cream, but like there's also like, I don't know, lemon flavored gelato, like I would ask my friend, like, oh, like, do you think I should get this flavor? And it's like, girl, what do you even want? Like, do you even want the lemon flavored gelato? Like, why are you asking for second opinions when you already know the answer in yourself? And this is also like reminiscent of another video I had made called, you already know the answer, you just don't trust yourself. And a big part of self-trust comes from making your own decisions and actually just listening to what you want internally before you seek a second opinion. So if you are somebody who, you know what I mean, is going to ask somebody else for their opinion, let's say you have a photo that you want to post and you're deciding between two pictures you can't choose, you know, maybe one of them you really, really like, but you know what, you might just want to ask your friend for a second opinion. Sure, why not? But don't go in there expecting them to make the final decision for you. You can always hear someone else's advice or whatever they want to share with you, but it's important that you know at the end of the day, before even going into the conversation, what you want. And this goes for everything in life. And I'm obviously just using examples of smaller things, but if it comes to careers, if it comes to relationships, if you have an argument with your friend or a disagreement with your friend, knowing what your opinions are before going in there and not just defaulting to, well, you know what, I want this problem to be solved. I don't want to be in any conflict. I don't want any beef. So even if I'm feeling a certain way about something, I'm just going to agree with what the other person has to say to dead the argument or the beef or the disagreement or whatever it might be. Don't do that. Stop doing that. You are your own person and your opinions are valid, your thoughts are valid, your emotions are valid. And I'm speaking to every single person out there who really is a deep people pleaser and has grown up feeling like they kind of just have to put their feelings and their emotions onto the sidelines because it's easier than confronting somebody knowing that you have opposing values or opposing views from them. Stop doing it. You're not going to be able to trust yourself or make confident decisions in your life if every single time you have an opportunity to voice your opinions, you're not taking it. Step 3, yeah. You got to start putting your words into actions. And a lot of people have been saying this online as well. Confidence comes from doing the thing you say you're going to do. So if you are somebody that's always like, okay, I'm going to wake up early and I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to drink all my water and I'm going to eat vegetables and fruits and whatever it might be, and you're doing none of the sort, not at all, not even trying, how are you going to start trusting yourself? Your mind internally is already clocking that you are not doing what you say you're going to do. Of course you're not going to trust yourself. But if you're somebody who, says you're going to go to bed early and you do the thing, even if you don't want to, if you start to do what you say you're going to do, that's how you build confidence. And take it from somebody who was not doing that at all. And now I am a very confident person, and not to the point where I'm like egotistical or anything like that, but I absolutely trust in myself to make good decisions. And it's only because I started doing what I said I was going to do. And I understand sometimes you can slip up. Like, I'm somebody who's like, lately I've been slipping up because I have a really big sweet tooth. And I'm also simultaneously trying to be a healthier person. You know what I mean? And, not everyday sugar, not everyday matcha. And I have been overindulging lately. However, I know that I am aware of me not like listening to myself, and I'm just going to change that. And I'm just going to like not eat sweets every day. You know what I mean? So just being confident enough to make your own decisions and actually follow through on them. That's how you build confidence from the smallest things. It really starts with the tiny things. So if you're going to say, I'm going to make up my bed today, make up your bed, do the thing. If you said, you know what, the first thing I'm going to consume today is water, do that and see how momentum builds and how much you start to trust yourself by just doing the small things. Okay, 4th quick, easy step to trusting yourself and stop being a people pleaser is self-acceptance and being okay with messing up. I'm going to hold your hand while I say this. It is okay to mess up. It is okay if you make a decision and things don't go as planned. It's not the end of the world. And it took me a really long time to be okay with this, because I was somebody who would listen to other people, what they had to say, especially if they were more, what's the word? Direct, I guess. If they were more direct in in their delivery of how they would say something, or just more confident in their opinions, I found it a lot easier for me to just listen to what they would say, even if it led me to somewhere I didn't want to be, even if it felt like it wasn't the right decision, because then I could blame somebody else if things didn't work out. I could put the blame, I could say that, you know what? It's not my fault why things didn't work out. It's not my fault why I didn't get what I want. It's not my fault if I end up upsetting somebody else because I had taken another person's advice. But ask it, like, where does that really even get you? I had to become comfortable with the fact that I am a human and I'm here for the first time and I'm learning as I'm going. And it's okay if I make a decision and it ends up being the wrong one, or it doesn't lead me to where I want it to be. At the end of the day, you have to learn to give yourself grace. And I'm not saying go out and wreak havoc and say, you know what, it's fine, I'm a human, I'm learning. Like, let's intentionally be kind people. But it's not the end of the world if you do make a decision and it doesn't turn out how you wanted it to be, and now all of the blame is on you. It's totally okay. And I'm also speaking to myself as I say this. Like, I've had to learn the hard way that if I'm going to be able to start trusting myself, if I'm going to feel like I actually have autonomy over my life, I'm going to have to start making my own decisions. And sometimes those decisions are not the right ones, or they're not great ones, and it's fine. You learn from your mistakes and you move on. But just telling yourself, like, it's fine if you do something, if you make a decision by yourself without seeking a second opinion and it doesn't exactly turn out how you wanted it to. Honestly, guys, those are all the tips that I have for you. Being a people pleaser really stems from, I think, a lack of self-trust, self-love, and self-acceptance. And in order for us to get out of that and start to migrate from it, you're going to have to start making your own decisions. You're going to have to really ask yourself why you care so much about what other people think. And only then will you be able to start to build self-trust. I really deeply believe that in order to fix a problem, you're going to have to acknowledge the problem first. And if you are somebody who's, trying to really stuff it down and act like you don't care that much about what people say because it's not what you're supposed to feel, it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. You're not going to figure out what you need to do in order to get rid of that mentality or to grow from it. Be honest with yourself. There's no wrong answers. There's no judgment here. Just ask yourself why you've been operating this way, and see how, just even in the smallest steps, you can start to change that in your life. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. I am wishing you all of the success. I'm wishing you endless belief in yourself. If you haven't subscribed and you're vibing with my content and you like what I have to say, subscribe. Maybe leave a comment. Send me a message. I would love to talk to you. Anyways, yeah, I hope you have a beautiful day. I will see you in the next video. Bye!